And so for me, that means that a lot of that means if I have a really good conversation and I feel people's passion or my own passion for something, I always ask, so what are we going to do about it, right? And that means that we often end up creating lots of different things, right? Because we don't really achieve a lot of things, especially when it comes to working on community challenges by ourselves, right? Who in here can solve any difficult issues by themselves? And so creating these entities gives a way for other people to participate. And it makes it safe for people to know that, okay, I'm not the only one thinking about something. Other people, even if it's the two of us, because there have been times where it's just me and another person, and we gave it a name, and then people thought we were really something, right? And then they came, and then we're like, oh, it's actually the two of us, but now there's 10 of us, right? And the next time there's 30 of us, right? So that's what I love about the opportunities that I have, and I really feel like that's why I do start a lot of things, because I like talking to people, and I like hearing about ideas, and then I always ask the question, what do you want to do about this, right? I don't want to just have good conversations.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Sounds like very entrepreneurial, creative. Reminds me of someone I know. So what I would love to know, and I'm sure some of our audience want to know, is how was your childhood was like growing up as a young Hmong woman? What were you like?
Yeah. I think I was a very typical Hmong girl. I grew up in a family with 4 daughters and 1 son. And so I think that's unusual because we weren't really big. 5 was considered small, right? But in that sense, I grew up with a lot of family members telling me about how to prepare myself to be a good nya, right? Like, all these things. So I think those are very typical things that, all of us who grew up in that time experienced, right? And I'm actually a very introverted person. That means while I do a lot of things that are external, I need to refresh myself by going away. So it's not because I don't like you guys, but really I just need a break from people. So actually, when I was very young, I was actually very, I guess what people would say shy, but I like to think, I just like to get my bearings before I engage with a lot of people. And so when I was younger, that was kind of my life, right? But I absorbed a lot of things. Like if I walk into a room and I hear people talking, I listen intently and all of those things. But a lot of the things that I remember were really just about everybody telling me what it is to be a good Hmong daughter, right? And so, I often say there were not many times when people said, you're smart, you can be, whatever you want to be. What are your dreams for yourself and things like that, right? So I think that experience is not just mine alone, but probably a lot of Hmong women who are my age, and I don't know how often it occurs because I don't have that conversation with my daughter because I have learned, right, from my own experience. But when I was growing up, there were very few times where people asked me about my hopes and dreams, right? Oftentimes there were like 10 people ready to tell me how to do something properly and, what it meant to be a good Hmong daughter and all of those things. So that was kind of my typical experience growing up. And I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so I got to do all the Hmong stuff, I guess.